What is going on, guys? Chris, Marvel Buff Nerd here. First off, I want to thank you for clicking on my video and taking some time out of your day to spend some time with me and listen to my Marvel Buff Nerdy thoughts of the day. We are going to be starting a new series here on the channel called the Monthly Loot Box. I got me a little loot box off Amazon for 12 bucks, and it's just going to be, some guys call it like their monthly haul videos where they, whatever they bought, Blu-rays, movies, video games from the previous month. They talk about that, and that's all that this is going to be. It's just just a different way for me to put my own spin on it, and try something different instead of just calling it the same thing that everybody else calls it. So it's kind of a light haul for January, but we'll go ahead and dig on in. I'd like to remind you, if you're clicking on this video and you like spending time with me, you're welcome to follow me anywhere: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Snapchat, and Patreon, all at Marvel Buff Nerd, all the same name. I like to keep it simple. So without further ado, we'll check into the first movie here. Alright, this is going to be my antique store find. My wife and I go antiquing. She goes antiquing a lot more than I do. She likes to go with her family and whatnot. But I go every once in a while because you never know when you're going to find some cool, geeky, vintage stuff there. And, you always do. I picked up the Tim Burton Batman. It's a VHS. We don't even have a VHS player hooked up in the house. I just picked it up because it was 50 cents. It caught my eye. I saw the cover art. I knew exactly what it was, and I wanted it. I was like, oh my goodness, VHS cover art from Keaton Bat. On the back, it still has, it's got the picture of Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton. It's got all the little credits and everything. I mean, it's all original. It's not in good shape, of course, but the front and the back are in good shape, and that's really what I wanted. So, I mean, for 50 cents, you can't go wrong to pick something like this up as you're walking by, because one day you're not going to be able to find anything like this at all, no matter what shape it's in. So, this was a must-have. And, I don't know, maybe one day I'll hook up a VHS player and I'll pop it in. But most likely, I'm just going to keep the cover art forever and eventually, frame it or put it on the wall or something where I can see the whole thing, something cool. Because I've got some other cool Batman, specialty art too. So yeah, that's it. The first one, Batman 89, Burton Batman. Just cool little novelty for 50 cents. The next thing is going to be my favorite sword and sandal movie. I would say, well, I guess, I don't know. Can you consider Thor Ragnarok a sword and sandal movie? Not really. I mean, the first two you can, and they're not one of my favorites. So I guess Troy, it's one of my favorite sword and sandal movies. I'm not hugely into those, but I love Brad Pitt. I love the story of Achilles. It was probably one of the first stories that I saw in my younger days where, it was, the tough guy that was supposed to never go down. He could take anybody on, and then you finally saw him go down. Stories like that really speak to me, and they really like kind of formed the characters and whatnot I would grow up to love as I got older and got more into movies and games and whatnot. But this is just, it's an awesome movie. It's got some badass action scenes. Brad Pitt looks amazing. He's in great shape. He portrays Achilles really well in this. Eric Bana is in it as well and does great. Yeah, just a really good movie. This is the director's cut. I haven't had a chance to actually check this out yet since I picked this Blu-ray up at Vintage Stock for a few bucks. I'm really excited to relive it because it's been a few years since I had a chance to watch this. But yeah, Troy, next one that I picked up. One of another personal favorite, The Replacements. I'm not a huge sports guy, but there's a few sports movies that I really hold near and dear that I've always loved all my life. And The Replacements is one of them. I'm also a huge Keanu Reeves fanboy and have been all my life. So this movie is just one that I've loved for, I don't know, ever since the very first time I saw it on TV. I've just loved this movie. It's got an awesome little inspirational, heartfelt story where he gets with the cheerleader, and the 80s coach has to put together a team while his team is on strike for a week or something like that. And it's during the playoffs. It's an important part of the season. So Gene Hackman, as the badass 80s coach with a reputation, goes and puts together this misfit band of characters as a football team. And it's just full of amazing. It's Keanu Reeves, Orlando Jones is in it, Jon Favreau's in it, back when all he played was these muscle-bound dickheads that had, buzz cuts and whatnot. So it's just, it's a really delightful film. Every time it's on TV, I can watch it with ease. And now, whenever I'm just in the mood for a lighthearted sports movie to play in the background, or just put a smile on my face, or just a lighthearted Keanu Reeves movie, this is one of my favorites, and this will be one that I put on. So, if you haven't seen The Replacements somehow, it doesn't seem like it gets talked about a whole lot in the public eye. But if you haven't seen it for some reason, I highly recommend that you go ahead and check this one out. If you ever have a chance, it's usually playing on TV and whatnot, or pick it up at your local movie store for a few bucks, if you still have one of those in 2021. Next up, a movie I haven't seen since I was really a kid, Detroit Rock City. This has John Connor himself in it. Edward Furlong is in this movie, John Connor from T2. And he's a little grown up in this. Of course, he's playing a high school teenager with his buddies, and they are in love with the band Kiss. And their lifelong dream is to go watch the band Kiss in person. They finally get tickets, and one of their moms finds out about it, and she's like, "You're not going to go watch those guys. That is the devil's music, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to stand for this." So she destroys the tickets somehow. It's been a long time since I've seen this. I just have amazing memories of it in my head. It stuck with me ever since the one or two times I saw it when I was a kid when it was on TV. So I've always loved this movie. I've always had memories of it in the back of my head. Every time I listen to a Kiss album, I've got a couple Kiss vinyls. I always think, man, I need to watch that movie again one of these days. And I walked right by it at Vintage Stock. It was $3.99, so I picked it up. I can't wait to revisit it. I have scenes in my head that just stuck with me for a long time of like these kids getting their asses kicked in an alley and just going through hell and back. And they finally, at the end of the movie, they get the tickets and they get to watch their favorite band ever. And it's a cool story. It may have hit harder when I was a kid or as a teenager. I'm not sure how I'll feel about it as an adult. So I am really excited to watch this one, though. And last on the list is actually a movie I'd never seen before last night, and I'm going to do a review for it, even though it's a little older. Prisoners, a Denis Villeneuve movie, who also did Arrival, the first Sicario. He's doing Dune, the new Dune movie that's going to come out on HBO Max that I'm really excited for. This is a Denis Villeneuve movie, and it's an all-star cast. You've got Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal, Terrence Howard, Viola Davis, Maria Bello, a couple other big name actors you're going to recognize when they come across. Paul Dano, of course, he plays a good one. But you pick up with these two families and their daughters on Thanksgiving Day, and it quickly goes from a happy story to a kidnapping story. And where we go for the next 2.5 hours, it's the film theme of the name Prisoners is both physical and mental and psychological, and you see different characters go through different arcs of imprisonment in this movie. You see a father go as deep and dark as you ever thought you would, and this is as anything as it gets, this movie right here. You hear people say, "Oh, I do anything for my family, I do anything for this or that." This is as anything as it gets right here. So I can't recommend this movie highly enough. Check it out if you never have. Like I said, it's from 2013. I can't believe I've never seen it before, but it was gripping from beginning to end. So Prisoners, can't recommend it highly enough. Like I said, I'm going to do a review for it and put it on the channel just because I loved it so much and I'm still thinking about it the next night. So Prisoners, check that one out. That is it, guys. That's the last movie I picked up for my monthly loot box series for January. Kind of a light haul. Hoping to pick up a little bit more this month. I need to get on it. I haven't bought anything yet. It's the second day of the month. This is just going to be kind of a more laid back, almost like a podcast style show where, because, I'm not talking about anything new or crazy when I'm doing this. This is just stuff I love. It's more of a passion kind of project. And it's just, I want to share that stuff with you guys. It's kind of like an unboxing, what did I buy each month, make it fun. So yeah, if you like this, let me know in the comment section down below. Sorry about my dog in the background, but she's a dog, so hopefully it's not too bad. And yeah, you're welcome to follow me everywhere on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, Patreon, Twitter, and Marvel Buff Nerd, all at the same name. I like to keep it simple. So yeah, guys, have a good one.